So here is the guide to watch anime. Number 1. Classify what types of anime or manga you are going to watch. There are 4 main types of anime and manga based on target demographic readership.
The first and the most popular one is the shonen. Shonen in Japanese means boy or youth, and it focuses on boy readers ages from 12 to 18. The main character is usually male. The main character of shonen usually is a perfect illustration of a good leader. They have a ton of charisma, very lively and energetic with nakama power. These guys are famous shonen characters. I'm sure that you are very familiar with them. However, not all of the shonen characters are like that. Some are super genius, but some are super below average guy. And if I have just one thing to say about the shonen, then it has always been a creativity type. The content often have fantasy elements like superpower, high action fighting, and some with very abstract idea. You see, as in the mind of a young teenage boy. Because of that, many people may call it unrealistic or too much of an ideal. However, if you compare it to other types of anime and manga, shonen has more out-of-the-box ideas. Additionally, the characters in the story are very diversity, and each of them possess a unique personality trait which make them very interesting to watch and follow, and sometimes they make us feel like we want to become the person of the story. Moving to the next type is shoujo. Shoujo is like the polar side, the opposite side of shonen. The MC is younger, and the story will involve a lot of drama, romance, and crying, you know, as in the mind of a teenage girl stuff. Even the art style is different and it's a lot more girlish compared to shonen. And if you think Korean drama or Chinese ngôn tình soái ca are overly dramatic enough, then you will have to think again if you read shoujo. They are so goddamn good. In fact, they are so good to a point most of the movie adaptations in Japan are based on shoujo manga, and not only Japan but also other countries like Taiwanese and Korean want to make movie about them too. For example, the manga Hanazuri no Dango have 5 movies adaptations. One from the original country Japan, one from Korean with the name Boys Over Flowers. This one is a huge shitful, and the Taiwan version with the name Meteor Garden, one version of Chinese with the name Meteor Shower, and an American version, namely Boys Before Friend. The good thing about shoujo is the drama character of it. They are very good at making you cry, but they don't make you feel so overly dramatic while reading or watching it. And it is very easy for the readers to feel sympathy toward the character in the story. Moving on to the next type, we have seinen. Seinen is like the older brother of shonen. They focus on young to mature male readers from the late teens 16 to 13. The story is more mature, more serious, less edgy things compared to shonen. And they also have more adult content like horrible killing, sex scenes, gore, and stuff. Then we have the last of the big 4, josei. And can you see the button here? The last type is josei. In Japanese, the word josei means simply woman, female, feminine, or womanhood. The same with seinen. It is more mature than shoujo. It often has more complicated story because woman. The plot will about such things like older woman loves young boy or female teacher in love with boy student. Sometimes they have cheating, true timings, or even rapes. Not only having a more adult work-like story, both seinen and josei have a more simple art style and more like adult vibe compared to shonen and shoujo. But please notice that the age of the main character has nothing to do in this. For example, a 10 or 12 years old boy can be the main character of a seinen manga or anime. And finally, we have the Kodomo Muke. It is not belong to the big 4 and it is not that popular or familiar with us. Kodomo Muke literally meaning directed at children, and this style of anime manga focus on children reader. The art and the story are very simple, easy to understand, mainly about everyday life stuff of the children. Doraemon, Hello Kitty, Chibi Maruko-chan are some famous examples for this type.
So knowing those basic types are very essential and important when you want to watch or read an anime. However, sometimes the classification is a bit of a mess because of the publisher. For example, a manga may have nothing to do with seinen can be classified as a seinen just because their publisher is a seinen company, so all of their works will be classified as seinen. The second point is understand the genre. So after you know what kind of anime or manga you are classified and you want to read, you want to know the genre. So basically the genre is what the anime is about. By looking at this, you will have a brief understanding about the whole story of the manga and what it's focused on. That's why I will focus only on the specific genre that only I am have. So those are things made in Japan.
So the first genre we have here is the ecchi. The name comes from the word ech in hentai, pronounced as ecchi in Japanese. The story that has ecchi as a genre is generally accepted as being full of sexually provocative scenes, but it might enough to be viewed by the general audience. But there will be no sex scenes involved. Yep, no sex scenes. They can do all kinds of shit together, but no sex. Haha. The second genre, and this can be considered as the dream of all men, harem. The story that has harem genre will involve a lot of girls, and they are all openly like the main character. Usually because some godlike stupid reason like he is such a nice guy. The next third genre is homosexuality genre. In Japan, they call it yaoi or sonen ai, which means boy loves, or that means two boys or two males are in love with each other, or shoujo ai and yuri for girl loves, which means two girls are in love with each other. Sometimes the author will not openly make the characters dating or make them become couple. Instead, they're just showing their affection and feeling to each other, flirting around. But if you add more genre into it, then it can definitely go further. The genre number 4, we have lolicon and sotakon. Lolicon means very young girl. If you see the lolicon genre, then the story will definitely involve a lot of very young girl in the story. However, the age may not be so young as the look. And sotakon, same like lolicon, but this time it is very young boy. I know it is confusing because sometimes animes or manga is just the art style. The character may be very old, 20, 25, 30 years old, but their look and their appearance is just like of a teenage girl. The fifth genre we will have gender bender. Yes, we have water bender, earth bender, and now we will have gender bender. As the name suggested, the gender bender genre is when the main character, the body of them will be bent or changing is the better word here. Somehow, if he is a boy, then his whole body will be changed to a girl and vice versa. A very good example for this genre is the famous movie Kimi no Nawa or Your Name. As you can see, both of the main characters have their bodies swapped. Number 6 and the most fun one is here, guys. We have hentai. I don't think I need any more explanation for it, just Google it. And number 7, slice of life. Yes, this one is the most recent one. Slice of life genre is a story about your everyday life, your routine day life, your school life, your work life, anything just normal like that. And if you think it's boring, then you are totally wrong. It is one of the best genre out there. This is because everyone can watch and relate to it. And it is cozy, warm, and happy.
And this is the final point, also the most important one. Open yourself and adapt. Before watching anime or reading any manga, I'm sure that we all know that they are weird. AM are weird and strange. And they are very much different from any other source of entertainment that you have seen before. From the art style, the story, the genre, or how the ideas in all of those things, they are very much different and so weird. That's why some of you may find it uncomfortable to read or very unfamiliar with the art style or the story. That's why I recommend you guys free your mind from the concept and laws of this work. It will make you feel easier to understand and adapt for this work. And I believe that is when you will be able to fully enjoy anime and manga to its fullest potential. Thanks for watching. See ya!